Behind the scenes, behind the scenes at the Black Excellence edition of Combs Family.
Kim's death wasn't even investigated, bro. Her death wasn't even investigated. And it should have been a proper investigation so all the family members can feel like that there was no foul play in her death.
Well, just when you thought the Diddy saga couldn't spill more secrets, Cassie flips the script and drops a revelation that has jaws on the floor. In the middle of explosive testimony, she claims Kim Porter, the late mother of Diddy's children, knew all about his alleged abuse and warned her. That's right, Kim wasn't just in the picture, she may have been holding the whole frame. So what did Kim really know, and why is this all coming to light now?
That's how he operates. He has people followed, he has people watched. He does all kinds of he's a piece of shit.
It's May 2025, New York City, and Diddy is not walking red carpets. He's walking in the court. That's right, the music mogul is on trial facing some of the ugliest charges in the book, and who's at the center of it all? Cassie Venture. Cassie didn't come to play, she came to expose. She said Diddy used to force her into these parties with strangers, calling them freak-offs, like it was some kind of VIP event. According to sources, David James, a former personal assistant for Sean Combs, revealed that Kim Porter might have been aware of what was going on. James testified that during the years he worked for Diddy, the mogul was in simultaneous relationships with 5 women. Kim Porter, Cassie, Sarah, Tara, and Yana. That's not a love triangle. That's a pentagon. And what's worse, James didn't just name names, he dropped receipts. He overheard Diddy gloating that Kim is my queen out in LA with my family, while bragging about how he had Cassie right where he wanted her and that she was young and moldable. That one sentence alone pulls back the curtain on how he operated by idolizing one woman while psychologically breaking another. When James asked Cassie why she didn't just leave Diddy, her answer was, Sean controls my life, my music. He pays for my apartment. It lines up perfectly with what Cassie has already testified to in court. The control and the freak-offs were not something she did with a big smile on her face. And it's not just about her being stuck emotionally. This man built a whole ecosystem around her where escape wasn't just hard, it was nearly impossible. Let's be clear, Diddy's messy web didn't start with Cassie. Long before she entered the picture, there was Kim Porter. Kim and Diddy had one of those roller coaster situationship on steroids kinds of romances that started in the 90s and dragged all the way into 2007. They had 3 kids together, broke up, got back together, and kept things cozy enough to confuse the public. Behind the scenes, there were whispers that things weren't quite tight with her and Diddy. Then on November 15th, 2018, Kim Porter, model, actress, mother of 4, and Diddy's longtime on and off partner, was found dead in her Los Angeles home at just 47 years old. The official word? Lobar pneumonia. It raised a few eyebrows then because it was suspicious, and there are rumors that Diddy had ordered a gold casket months before her passing. How did he know someone would need a gold casket?
That has been happening. Now, some people even said that her casket was ordered 2 months before she died. That her casket, how you order a gold casket 2 months before somebody died, man?
Now here's where things start to feel odd. Just days after Kim's passing, Diddy took to Instagram with a heartbreaking post that was a pure public display of grief. I don't know what I'm gonna do without you, baby. I miss you so much, he wrote in a caption that has since mysteriously disappeared. We were more than best friends. We were more than soulmates. Okay, poetic, but also kind of confusing. Like, didn't you just date Cassie for 10 years straight? You would think Cassie would be the person he'd call his soulmate. The post seemed overly sad, almost as if it wasn't real sadness. Let's be real, Kim's death was officially ruled natural. The autopsy says pneumonia, and that's that. But when you zoom out and connect the dots between Cassie's testimony and Diddy's PR-loving grief post that mysteriously disappeared, well, let's just say the vibe is suspicious. Rumor has it that Kim also planned to release a tell-all book about her experience with Diddy, which makes you wonder if Kim was carrying more secrets than anyone wanted her to.
A woman named Kim Porter. Now what happened was she mysteriously died of pneumonia at the age of 47. Not the typical way that a 47-year-old goes out, especially just when they are about to publish a tell-all book on their very famous ex, Diddy. That's what happened to Kim. She died of pneumonia at the age of 47 years old.
Now here's where things get even more eerie. After Kim's tragic death in 2018, a so-called memoir surfaced, one that claimed to tell her story uncensored. It was allegedly written by someone under a pseudonym, but described experiences that sounded a little too close to what Cassie's been testifying about. We're talking stories of violence, control, and Diddy dragging women in fueled or sound familiar? That book accused Diddy of emotional manipulation and straight up abuse. It even claimed Kim feared for her life. Now, some people tried to brush the whole thing off as tabloid trash, but when Cassie took the stand and confirmed similar stories, suddenly that dusty book didn't seem so far-fetched after all. The author has also revealed that he did a lot of deep dive research from various sources before writing the book and mentioned that everything he said was true.
What is my feeling of how I proved that Diddy was abusive to Kim herself? Well, multiple sources I talked to about that he was abusive. We have the whole story about Saint Tropez on the yacht, the broken nose. So I researched the heck out of that.
Of course, not everyone's buying it. Kim's close friend, Ebony Electra, came out saying the book was a scam, fake news, and that Kim never wrote anything of the sort. But just because something isn't officially confirmed doesn't mean it didn't happen. And let's not pretend people in Diddy's circle haven't stayed quiet out of fear or loyalty. Whether Kim put pen to paper or not, the alleged contents of that memoir are now sounding similar to Cassie's experience. And what if two women who were involved with Diddy during overlapping time frames are telling similar stories? That's not a coincidence.
Kim Porter was working on a book before she died, and Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma.
Cassie even dropped a bombshell of her own, saying she wrote her own book after finally escaping Diddy's grip. She poured every ounce of pain, every traumatic detail into it, and with the support of her mother, tried to send it to Diddy. And how did he respond? He didn't. This dude ghosted her like a coward who couldn't handle the truth. That's when Cassie said enough was enough and hit him where it hurts, his bank account. She sued him for $30 million, and while he didn't admit guilt, he handed over $20 million like it was pocket change just to make it go away. But the silence he bought didn't last, because now she's in court, really talking, and the whole world's listening. Whether the courts convict him or not, the real story is already out. None of Diddy's other exes have come out to confirm this story. But how come no one is asking Young Miami about her short-lived situationship with Diddy? They started linking up around 2021, and she was popping out with him at award shows and calling him her man, even when he wasn't exactly saying the same. One thing Karesha did though was go shopping with Diddy.
He wanna sponsor my ad bag, double R black bag, time for a black tag. Rocking out Chanel with a black.
The two would go on cruises and trips where she would show off the expensive stuff he got for her. But by the end of 2022, things got awkward real fast, especially when Diddy pulled a fast one on the timeline and announced he had a whole baby on the way with another woman. The math wasn't mathing, but Jaguar Wright recently praised Young Miami for how she played Diddy by exiting early and not getting caught in the freak-off web. According to Jaguar, Diddy's known for giving his girlfriends a hefty $250,000 a month allowance to keep them comfy and compliant. And let's be real, who wouldn't be tempted by that kind of coin? But Jaguar threw Young Miami her flowers, saying sis had the sense to take the bag and bounce before things got too dark. At least one person is confirming Cassie's story. Dawn Richard was one of Diddy's golden girls. She rose to fame in the mid-2000s as a member of Danity Kane, the all-female group formed on Diddy's MTV reality show, Making the Band 3. From the jump, Dawn was seen as talented, polished, and one of the few who stuck close to Diddy even after the group's infamous breakup. She later became part of his group Diddy Dirty Money alongside Kalena. Fast forward to 2023, and Dawn filed a lawsuit of her own against Diddy, one that didn't make nearly as many headlines as Cassie's, but had serious weight. In her suit, she alleged years of abuse, manipulation, and fear-based control, which is similar to what Cassie mentioned in her own lawsuit. Come on, two people saying Diddy was abusive, that doesn't seem like a setup. And while Dawn didn't initially go into full detail for the public, she made it clear that what went on behind the scenes wasn't all music. She was brought to testify in the Diddy case and has made a lot of headlines with her revelations.
Dawn, how are you feeling?
She claimed she saw Diddy attack Cassie with a skillet. Yes, a skillet, like a scene out of a horror movie. And when she questioned him, he told her that people could go missing. When asked what she thought he meant, Dawn said flatly that people could die. That's not a metaphor, that's a threat. It shows that she was genuinely terrified that Diddy would unalive her. The tea is scalding hot because Dawn wasn't some bitter ex or random witness. She was right there, deeply embedded in his world, and for a long time, seen as one of his most loyal artists. So if someone like her is stepping up and speaking out, that adds a whole new level of credibility to what Cassie and even those whispers about Kim Porter has been pointing toward. According to Cassie in the courtroom, this is not the first act of violence Diddy has displayed. So let's rewind to the early 2000s and 10s when Cassie and Diddy were in one of their classic toxic, we're on a break but not really phases. During that window, Cassie allegedly got a little closer to Kid Cudi, and let's just say Diddy did not take it well. According to Cassie, the moment Diddy found out about her talking to Cudi, he flew into a full-blown rage. We're talking about the screaming, losing it kind of rage. Cassie said she ran to Kid Cudi's house afterward because she genuinely feared for her safety. But, like so many women stuck in that cycle, she ended up going back to Diddy. Cassie claimed that Diddy once threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car, and he allegedly said he wanted Cudi and his friends to be home when it happened.
And, you know, there are all sorts of stories that Kid Cudi's car blew up, and it was Diddy that had one of his goons go out and blow it up.
And then, not long after that threat, Kid Cudi's car literally exploded in his driveway. His team confirmed it. Like this wasn't a rumor, it happened. The car went up in flames, and some people suspected that Diddy was the culprit, but of course there wasn't any proof back then. Fast forward, and now prosecutors are saying they've got receipts. In legal docs, they backed up Cassie's claims, pointing to an arson incident that occurred January 9, 2012, when a Porsche owned by Cudi was set on fire by an incendiary device just weeks after Diddy allegedly threatened someone over Cassie. Cassie went on to say that after ending her relationship with Cudi, the next time she saw him was at a Soho house when she was with Combs. Ventura testified that Cudi asked Combs, "What about my vehicle?" To which Combs allegedly replied, "What vehicle?" All of this together paints a clear picture. Diddy wasn't just a man in messy relationships. He was allegedly running a system of emotional, physical, and psychological control. Cassie and Kim's stories aren't random or exaggerated. They are two halves of the same sick story. Two women connected by a man who used power, money, and fear to mold and manage them like property. The trial may still be ongoing, and we will keep you updated every step of the way. What are your thoughts on Kim Porter's demise and Cassie's allegations? Let us know in the comments section.